in the 19th century, the world population hit a milestone of 1 billion people. And over the next 220 years, the numbers grew exponentially. But the United Nations now says that the growth is slowing down and may even stop by the year 2100. Why is that? Because of falling fertility rates. And why is this happening? And how will the low fertility rates actually impact economies around the world? First things first, what is the meaning of total fertility rate? It is essentially the average number of births per woman over a lifetime. But experts have found some uncertainty as far as uncertainty in predicting fertility rates. And in order to project a fertility rate, we need to have two assumptions. The first one is that the woman will have to live to the end of her childbearing years. The second is that she will bear kids under the age-specific fertility rates. And since the assumptions can prove unreliable, the World Bank now studies overall trends to decide the fertility rates. And our focus tonight is on the falling fertility rate since the 1970s. In fact, the UN says that 2/3 of the global population witnesses a rate below the 2.1 threshold. In 2020, the world's fertility rate stood at 2.3, and this was still better than the current 2.1 births or less per woman. And even amid the falling fertility rate, the top 10 countries doing better are Niger, Somalia, Chad, Democratic Republic of Congo, Mali, Central African Republic, Angola, Nigeria, Burundi, Benin. And what are the reasons for the spiraling fertility rates? The first one could be better access to contraception. Earlier, women would experience unwanted pregnancies and did not have an option for contraception, you see. And this would ultimately lead to women bearing children. Another one is women being encouraged to grab work opportunities. Women would earlier be confined to their homes. They were restricted to childbearing and rearing. Work opportunities were a triumph for improved socio-economic development. Even the most populous countries of the world, like China and the US, are below replacement levels of fertility. But China has another crisis laid on top. The country is facing a fall in the number of marriages. Last year, China's Ministry of Civil Affairs showed that 6.83 million couples got married, and that is down by 10.5% from 7.63 million marriage registrations in 2021. Reports say that 2022 marks a record low since 1986. You see, the officials see a direct link between the falling births and the fewer marriages. It's the social norms and the government regulations. Even the young adults are suffering due to joblessness and the rising cost of living, after all. Much of the youth also seems to have revolted against marriage, especially after China's stringent rules during the pandemic. The youth has expressed frustration, saying that they are the last generation, quote unquote. They have refused to bear children in the rigidly controlled Chinese state. And a similar situation is being noticed in Japan. Its population has shrunk by 1 million since 2008. It seems like more people are dying than being born. And what's the reason for that? Studies show that the Japanese are not interested in having sex. That's right. Studies say 50% of married couples have stopped having sex. What are the reasons behind this? Well, many men say that they are usually too tired after work. On the other hand, many women say that sex is bothersome. And things seem to get worse. Studies show that millions of Japanese are not even dating. Let's say if a couple starts dating, experts say many couples will postpone marriage till much later. Sometimes they simply choose to stay unmarried. More women, by the way, are working now, and that's great. This is majorly helping Japan's shrinking labor force. But you see, this factor also means that women are delaying marriage as much as possible. We've talked about China, Japan, and other parts of the world. The global population is clearly in for a difficult time. Let it be childbearing or marriage numbers. Some countries are on the edge. A shrinking population could have far-reaching implications for economies around the world. Would countries be able to balance the fertility rate equilibrium? WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the updates on the move.